Greetings and welcome. I'm Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you are doing well. We are all blessed by spirit. Trigger warning: the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events, not people's playground and television shows. Disclaimer: all cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. So just when you think the Nicola Bulley case has been pushed to the background, ironically, you will recall in episode 5, we now have 4 players that are deceased. And the plot thickens in this episode. There's been an announcement, the BBC documentary to tackle entitled Online Sleuths. Director says, no name of the director. But of course we know there's a lot of puppeteering going on behind the BBC, the broadcaster of pedophilia. So let's have a look and see, because why would a murder of a woman and several other people lose focus, and the focus becomes sleuths are now the target? In previous episodes, did I look at the MI6? Because there are MI6 numbers all over this place. Yeah, I must have. But what I wanted to do in this episode, beg your pardon for the long lag on that picture. What I wanted to do in this episode was to look at the entitled BBC and see what their numbers say, because we do know every great pedophile operations needs a communication base. Now, full disclosure, I've just literally found this a few minutes ago. I went into the old, I actually did this quite a while ago. I just refreshed the background just to let the numbers stand out a bit. And let's just have a look here and have a look and see MI6, but with a particular focus on the broadcaster of pedophilia. Alright, so let's have a look here. BBC, born October 18th, 1922. October 10-1, so audience, you can say. Masses, who they broadcast to. If we switch the optics, always a party player. When Her Majesty the Queen, now the King, calls upon a favor, or if organizations like 1910-1 call a favor to do a broadcasting manipulation programming deal. Let's hotwire the pumpkin heads in front of the TV. All transactional, 1910-1. So this is quite interesting. The 9 speaks about the monarch programming. All agencies share information, especially allies. Originally purchased by Japan, or purchased from Japan, or we can argue stolen from Japan during the Second World War. Vivisections. 1910-1. So here is what we call, if we had to compare it to a movie, Inception. So here's the idea. They plant the idea and feed it to the pumpkin heads to the masses. Always under instruction. Hidden, 28.10.1, nothing gets done without our approval. This is what I find even more ghastly. So on one hand, you can say BBC is for the family. 24.6, broadcasting family principles, family values, good society norms. But we actually have also the complete opposite, 42.6. That's what happens when you destroy children's lives. 42.6, breaking up family values. And never want to turn down an appointment for a ritualistic situation, 33.6. Bloodthirsty suckers, all serving the Blood King, BBC, the Blood King. Brought to you by Charles. That's just a joke. So, God forbid we actually find out the truth about what happened to Nicola Bulley, that now we must come and hunt entitled online sleuths, says the arrogant, colonistic, racist BBC, the egomaniacs, feeding in the troughs of others and the misery of others. Never a dull moment. So let's, and yeah, 14.5. 14.5. Older men, and it can include older women with children. The ultimate pedophilia number, 14.5. Big fat motherfuckers and their fat cigars and short dicks, preying on the lives of children. I hear the word Savile, what's his name? Savile. Don't worry, you'll fit right in, Savile. Come to the BBC. We do this live on TV. 14.5, pedophilia motherfuckers. Broadcasting murder, and propaganda. Propaganda, feeding the inception into broadcast waves. And come to think about it, actually, they don't really have much broadcasting numbers here, actually, now that I'm looking at it. This is more of a operational, military, covert, MI6 communication station, funded by your royal Blood King. Blood, 6 sacrifices. Don't worry, Savile, we'll give you a live show. We do it all the time. So for me, when we go to this next chart to see what influence or what role did BBC as an overview energy have in the murders of these people. Because remember, nothing happens without approval. Communication. The day before Nicola Bulley goes missing, 28-10-1. Now we're looking at it from the BBC paedophile group, right? Broadcasting to the world. We are pedophiles. 28-10-1 before Nicola goes down. Before Evelina, 28-10-1. 28-10-1. 19-10-1. So Peter Lawson, what I've just realized looking at these numbers again, now you'll recall if you did watch the previous episodes, I said he was taken out here, okay? However, the BBC reports that it was December the 11th. Because all the other agencies feed off the BBC mainline, isn't it? Fodder fuckers. The reason why there's an anomaly with Peter is the following, and I'll get back to the 28-10-9. It all ties in. Before each takedown, there's a 28-10-1. Hidden, we're in the blue zone here, so let me just mark it blue so you know I'm looking at it from a reflective point of view. She has an outburst. She has an outburst. In the case of Peter, and it turns out in the case of Gaynor, just spotted it now, they were held 21-3. Hers is slightly different, I'll get to hers now, but I believe he was held for some time. Peter Lawson was held for some time, and that's why we have a 21-3. So in his case, we see the 28-10-1. We also see the 19-10-1. And then confirmed death. In Gaynor's case, having completed her day at the gin shop, the day before, 19-10-1. Similar, look at the pattern of hers and Peter's. 21-3, but we got a 28-10-1. Very similar patterns here. BBC are very well known for their formatted programming. They follow a certain format. So in other words, it will always look the same. So the question is, why would there be BBC in it? I'm not saying someone at the BBC killed these people. They're involved some way, shape or form, right? They're in the mix. So before the takedown, let's script the narrative. Let's script the lie. 14.5 is lies. 14.5 is a lie. Fraud. Corruption. Let's quickly script a situation. No one even knew her, but one day in the news, Nicola Bulley has gone missing, having walking her dog in the park. Controlling the narrative from the communication center. Now we know there's problems. Lots of problems. And even though we've got all of these problems, we are going to take on the despicable, entitled online sleuths. How dare you? How dare you? Well, at least there's value on human life. There's value on human life. There's value in family principles and values. Even though the Randy uncle is around, 15'6", dirty old man, and the 14'5" pedophile motherfuckers, all transactional. And in this case, because it is the broadcasting basin or basement of King Charles, it's operational. It's a military outpost, if you will, communication post. Entitled online sleuths. I wonder how we're going to solve these crimes. I've got an idea. So there's a workshop on Monday morning at the BBC. Let's do an entitled online sleuths video. Make Nicola Bulley the center of the top to get it going. And we'll just blame everything on the sleuths. There's a good idea. But let's not solve these cases so they keep going on. Anyway, I thought I'd just be a entitled sleuth sharing my moment. Hope I don't offend the British Basement Corporation, known as King Charles's cesspool. Andrew is an honorary member. Everyone else is as well. It's just that a photo got out of Andrew, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to continue being entitled. And please enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.